All right, we will get started. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good morning so far. I know it is Friday. Thank goodness, right? Everybody's happy that it's Friday. Let's see. TGIF. I'm just trying to figure out. There was somebody on the chat or someone on the chat that is that two eyes and a nose? I don't know. All right. All right, let's
I
get started.
accidentally ate moldy bread from Panera.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I didn't check it because I thought it would be okay, and then I started eating it, and
It
it
was all
wasn't.
moldy. Oh, man. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not
No,
fun.
that's not mold, it's flavor.
Yeah. All right, let's go for it. All right. So we were talking about yesterday, like production on ordering and what you should order and when you should order it, and we were talking about FIFO, first in, first out. Very important. You're going to hear that FIFO like all the time. So just make sure you know what FIFO is. It's first in, first out. It's always important to talk about. Preparation. So we're going to be talking about preparing the food or preparation of the food. Um, Now, when you're prepping the food or preparing the food, it's not your recipes, right? It's someone else's recipes. It's someone else's production, whatever else. You're just following the recipes and making sure you're sticking with the amounts and all of that good stuff. So what happens is um, you get a recipe, something like this, order guide. This is tells you how much you need to order, on certain things, 9.5, 25 pounds of chocolate, uh, let's see, 2.5 pounds of flour, 4 pounds of sugar, 2 pounds of butter, 24 eggs. So that's what you need to have for the order guide, right? And then the yield is 2 full sheet pans. All right. So then you've got 9 cups of sugar, water, butter, and kind of explains it all out. Well, this is what I call a standardized recipe. Okay, a standardized recipe. And this is more a standardized recipe for a professional. Okay, this is not what I call a home cook, um, recipe, right? Because, first of all, most commercial sheet pans do not fit in a home style oven. So, this wouldn't even, your pans wouldn't even fit in your oven if you have just a home style oven. So, but this is a professional one because you can see it just very basic bullet points in a large pot that will be holding the entire recipe. Melt together the sugar, butter, and water. It doesn't tell you anything else. It's just very bullet points like this. But it's a standardized recipe. And why we use standardized recipes is so where every time we make it, it comes out the same. Does that make sense? So where you're not making it one day and then and people love it, and then the next day you make it and people hate it because of you put different ingredients in there, you put whatever else, but it's not. You need a standardized recipe. The reason why we also use standardized recipes so I can cost it out, so I can cost out. Um, cost it all out and to find out exactly how much a recipe costs, how much it's going to be, all of that good stuff. So this is an actual recipe. It's Chef Tammy. She's a pastry chef uh, at the school, and we used her recipe to put that up there. But anyway, so that is a true recipe if you want to ever try it, if you have that much space. All right, portioning. First of all, portioning. Portioning is very important. Have you ever been to, let's say, like a Luby's or even a barbecue place where they use like an ice cream scoop to put your mashed potatoes down or your potato salad or your coleslaw? That is portioning. You're portioning that because I only cost it out per person, per plate, 4 ounces or 5 ounces. So I need to make sure that I portion it out correctly. If I give them more potato salad, that means that I'm going to be losing a lot of money. If I give them more than, let's say, 5 ounces, and I scheduled out 5 ounces for that item, and I give them, I don't know, 10 ounces, 10, 12 ounces, and then what's going to happen, every time I sell a product, I'm going to be losing money because I only scheduled out for each plate. You only get 2 or 3 ounces of vegetables or whatever else. But portioning, you can use scoops, you can use sized ice cream scoops, like a scoop like they have right here, cups, portion cup, you name it, whatever you need to do to portion it out or have it portioned out. That is kind of what you're looking for. Let's see. For our record keeper, just making sure orders are taken. This, I would say, have a POS system, have something that can control or watch your what you're ordering or what you're sending out to the dining room or whatever else. But just a somewhere where you can record and keep track of all your orders. And we talked about the POS system and all of that sort of stuff. And also for invoices when you get them from the purveyors or whatever else. Food, egg drop soup. Okay, this is a standardized recipe. All right, so egg drop soup. Here you go. So pretty straightforward, but this is a standardized recipe. Here's what you need: flour. Order from US Foods, eggs from US Foods. So this is what you need to kind of an ordering guide or ordering. Receiving, this is if you receive it, you got an example of receiving flour bags inspected for damage. This is what you're looking for when you're in. I was talking yesterday about the sugar bags or the flour bags of the product, making sure that it's not wet, and if it is wet, when did it get wet, what the product was on it. All of that. Make sure that your eggs aren't broken. Make sure the salt containers are not damaged. The chicken broth is not damaged. Ginger is good, fresh, not bruised up. Any of that sort of stuff. Fresh garlic, same thing. You're looking for no browning. You're looking for freshness. The green onions, you're looking for no dirt. You don't want it to be all dirty. Fresh, no brown spots, no wilting, no damage whatsoever. Something bright green, tops with a nice clean bulb to it with, you know, the root end still attached for the green onions. So all of that, that's kind of what you're looking for. Storage, when you're storing it, right? You need a storeroom, you know, nice. And we haven't really talked about the storeroom. We will. But the storeroom for, you know, for us, you know, for right now, you want, you know, all I need you to know, the storeroom's nice and cool. It's kind of a darker place, or it's got lights, but it's kind of not direct sunlight because we don't want to heat up the storeroom too hot. Because if it gets too warm at, let's say, even 80 degrees or 75 degrees or 79, right around that area, white chocolate can start melting. You know, you've got chocolate that can melt. So you've just got to be very careful with what you do with first in, first out. You know, the eggs you ordered today are not the ones you're going to use today. You're going to use the older eggs, right? So you want to make sure that you know, you do that first in, first out. The ginger, oh, that's not, that's, I guess, dry ginger. Dry storage room, you know, it's in a container. Fresh garlic, you want to put it in the storeroom, room temp. You don't really want to refrigerate garlic. Place, you know, and then the green onions placed in a cold storage, like refrigerator, and make sure you do FIFO. Same thing for preparing mise en place. Now, do y'all know what mise en place means? Mise en place means get everything in its place. You want, mise en place means everything in its place. So that's kind of what mise en place means. You're going to hear get your mise en place together, get your stuff together. In mise en place, when it's a French term,
to put it in the position and put it just exactly how you need it to be.
that is correct. That is correct. You want everything in its place, and um, make sure everything is measured correctly. And this is your prep list, or your mise en place means this is what you need to prep out or have together before you can do anything. Like, for example, you know, I'm not going to start preparing any of this until I, you know, cut up my green onions, wash them, chop them. I'm going to peel my garlic, mince it. I'm going to have everything in it, everything cut up, ready to go. Then I will prepare the dish. Does that make sense? You want to get all your mise en place together, all your stuff prepared before you can kind of start to put it all together. Because I need to crack all the eggs, you know, to get that working, right? So just making sure your mise en place or your stuff is ready and ready to go for your production. Okay, holding. All right, so a holding process of the dishes or whatever else, like, okay, so you want to place the soup. So your soup is finished. What are you going to do with it? You're going to put that soup in a soup well, or a little steam kettle or a steam well, where you just put the little soup. Uh, the soup container is called a bain marie. Hold on a sec.
It's called a what?
A bain marie, and I'll get back. Hold on, it just shut me off on sharing. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Sorry, it kicked me off on sharing. Hold on. Sorry. All right, so I'm gonna. All right, so this is it's called bain marie, bain marie. Okay, and bain marie is
Bain-marie.
bain marie. So it's something
Oh,
like
is that like what you used to make like a hollandaise?
in a way, yeah, yeah. It's like a double boiler or somewhere where you can kind of keep. Hold on, I'm trying to get the images.
Or like I can't even think of it. Not flan.
All right, so something like this. So this is a bain marie. It's a round, basically a soup kettle, but also double boiler, something like the souffle cup right here, and water is in here. It's basically a water bath. You know, so like here is like you're baking something right here, and you have water around it, so where it'll cook evenly. Same thing for like your creme brulee right here that they're doing. They're putting hot water in the pan, and so what when I call a bain marie, I'm calling it this right here. This is what I consider a bain marie. It is a container that you would put soup in, and then you would push it into the soup well. Something similar to here. It would just sit in there, and it would keep that warm water around it. Would keep it nice and warm. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, I didn't know it had a name. I just used a rice cooker and a pot.
Yeah, yeah. It's called a bain marie. So and that is kind of a kind
Already.
of a let me close this up now. All right, now I should need to share the PowerPoint. Hold on. So that's what a bain marie is. Pretty straightforward. Let's see. I'm sharing. Okay, so you want to hold it in a bain marie or something to keep it nice and warm. Okay, or bain marie. And then you can also cool things off in a bain marie. You can stick that. The best way of cooling things off is in a metal pan or a metal pot. You never want to use plastic to cool things off because plastic doesn't really, it's hard to cool in plastic, but it's easier to cool in metal. So that's why a lot of times we will transfer it into a metal container to cool it because it'll cool faster. Then we can put it in a plastic container after that. Let's see, serving, label, make sure everything's labeled. You've got garnish, you've got everything sitting there. Label the soup portion, you know, make sure you have your portion, you have a large soup cup or a bowl and then a cup. Just make sure you have all your stuff, make sure it's in proper temperature, make sure it's garnished properly, all of that good stuff. Let's go back to the menus. How to create a menu that gives you more bang for your buck. Oops. A new restaurant, well, how to get more bang for your buck, just make sure you, for me, is cross utilization. So if you're gonna have a piece of chicken, or if you're gonna like cook a chicken breast, go ahead, buy a whole chicken, and then break it all down. And then you've got your chicken breast that you can make all your money from just your chicken breast that that will cost for the chicken breast will pay for the whole chicken. And then the wings, the tenders, the drumsticks, the thighs, all of that is great, what I call gravy money and extra money. That's how you make profits. Look at your environment, make sure your environment of your facility is nice, it looks good. People look, look around, excuse me, they're looking around, they're looking for a nice restaurant that has a good niche to it. Excuse me, I get the hiccups again. But, I mean, look at that picture. I mean, it's gorgeous, right? I mean, it makes you want to go sit up at that, wherever that is, bar and have some drinks for sure. But just make sure that you have a good environment. It's clean, it's organized, it looks nice. People don't want to go to somewhere where it's ugly and disgusting and dirty and all of that. So, make sure you keep up the appearance. Start with your quotes. All right, again, some quotes from some famous people or some people. So if you would like to look at the quotes, that's fine. Stick with the theme. Make sure your theme is not a choppy theme. You want to make sure, hold on. Shut off her gravy money. I love it. Yeah. All right. Oh, damn. What did I just do? Hold on. I lost something. All right. There we go. All right. So just make sure that you follow your theme. Make sure if it's a Mediterranean food, keep it, make everything look like Mediterranean food. Plain and simple. Don't go crazy on it. Stick to the theme. Again, stick to your themes. Don't go crazy. Just follow your theme of your restaurant.
Chef,
Yes,
can I combine with my menu? Can I combine like Portuguese food with African food and with the American food?
of course you can. But that would be just a fusion, a restaurant fusion. But yeah, totally.
Okay, because I mix with a lot of things, and I just thought about mixing them together.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I think it's good to, I mean, there's a lot of fusion, fusion restaurants that are combining multiple cuisines into a new style of cuisine. So yeah, I'm totally down for that.
Okay, well,
Yeah, no worries. I start flexible and change often. Make sure you are being able to be flexible with your menu and all of that. But just change as often as you want to. Some people don't like change. Some people will quit your restaurant because you changed, I don't know, some formula or whatever else. But again, it's one of those things where but that's about it. I mean, I don't. All right, now look at this, and we talked about this before. I think when I talked about the Cheesecake Factory, and it was saying how big the Cheesecake Factory menu was, and So the Cheesecake Factory has a big menu, and just keep it small because look at all of this. Look at this menu right here, right? It's huge. It's got so many things on there. And how would you make sure that all of that is fresh? And that's the biggest problem. You can't really tell if it's going to be fresh or not because there's so much stuff on this menu where I don't think it would, you're not going to get as quality of a food, because even if it was quality food, it would be very expensive for this restaurant to have like quality food on every item, because something's going to be, I mean, the seafood's going to have to be frozen probably. The soups are, I mean, look how many soups there are. That tells me that there's a big problem. I mean, they're probably not making their soups. They're probably pre-buying them, and because I have never worked at a restaurant in my life that had this many soups on a menu. So that tells me. I mean, I have worked at places that had about half of this, and they still some of the places got pre-made soups and all of that sort of stuff. To serve this every day, it's gonna have to be frozen, and gonna have to reheat it most of the time. But that is what keep it small means. Keep it small in the lunch menu. Keep it small. I wouldn't want a huge menu. You don't want that. So you want to try to minimize it to, I don't know. I mean, it really kind of depends on what you want, but no more than, like 10 entrees, 10, 12 different entrees. And it just gets very too much after a while. So just be careful on that. Chef specials also. I love chef specials because you know why? Chef specials are things that you can get rid of. Extra this, extra that. You had leftover, let's say I made short ribs, beef short ribs. Okay, and I had a bunch of leftover short ribs that were all shredded, and the meat from the short ribs are shredded. What I would do is I would make some raviolis, make a short rib mixture, and do beef short rib raviolis, and that would be the special because we had short ribs yesterday, so we're gonna have short rib raviolis for the leftover short ribs to utilize everything, or to if we had leftover fish, then we would have a fish special or whatever else. But chef specials, or specials in general, those are great because you can push some of your food that's about to go bad, or that you have only a small amount of. Maybe you only have 5 fish left. Well, do 5 fish, do a special for 5 fish, and then 86 it or get rid of it and tell everybody you're out of the special. That's totally fine. I would much rather a restaurant tell me they're out of food than just kind of keep giving crappy food. I would much rather them be out of it, because that tells me that at least they're doing, it's fresh food. It's food that, is, one of those things where, it just shows me that it's more fresh. Hold on, let me read this.
Oh, you don't want to read that.
Wow. Oh, damn. That's crazy.
Why does it have to be such a small portion?
Do what?
Why does it have to be such a small portion?
It doesn't. It doesn't. Like, what do you mean? Like when I said 5 fish or something? Or these are just looks like appetizers. to me.
Oh,
I think these are the picture, the chef special, the pictures of here. I think these are just looks like appetizers to me. They're
yeah,
not
it
entrees.
looks like appetizers.
Yeah, it doesn't look like entrees, but it looks like appetizers to me. But you can do appetizer, entrees, dessert
What
specials,
if
you name it.
like really hungry and they really want a big portion of food? Like you can make that, right? Like we can make.
Yes, yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, Yeah, use specials to test menu items for sure. This is kind of what a lot of restaurants do. They'll, get you to do special, and if the special sold really well, then they might add that to their menu. It's just kind of a crapshoot in a way of you got to decide on what your customers like and what they don't like. And that's a good way of testing it out is on a special because you don't have to, change your menu at the moment in time. But this kind of helps you figure out how you want to change it. A seasonal chef special, yeah, that might be like for certain items that you can only get in a certain time of the year. You can say, seasonal lobster or whatever else. I don't, you know, whatever you want to do, but it's a seasonal menu or seasonal type. And you have a signature dish. A lot of restaurants have dishes that are their signature dish. They're the ones that, people go to that restaurant just for that one dish, and that usually never goes off the menu. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's a sexy looking plate, right? And you got lobster claw, a little lobster tail, I think right there, a little caviar. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
need to order 3 of those.
Yeah, yeah. But it looks sexy.
That looks
Uh,
great.
yeah. So, and then we've got price menu. Price the menu accordingly. Make sure it's not too overpriced. Make sure that you're kind of keeping up with the Joneses, meaning like you need to keep up with the people kind of around you, like your the businesses around you, making sure you're about the same price, or if you are expensive, it's more expensive than somebody else in town. You've I use choice or select or whatever sort of beef it, you can make it, get everybody to understand how much it is or whatever else. But, it's just, did I freeze up?
You did for a second, but you're back.
Okay. All right. Thanks. I just all of a sudden saw it froze. But pricing the menu accordingly. You don't want it too cheap, nor do you want it too expensive either. And some items you're gonna cost it out, and it might be really cheap, but you might want to add more money to that dish because it is so cheap. You can make a little more profit off of the cheaper items. And compared to like a steak, I'm not going to make much profit off of a steak because steaks tend to be more expensive. If I'm going to sell a good steak, they're pretty pricey. So you don't make as much profit on a more expensive item. So like I make a lot of profit off of chips and salsa if I don't give it away. Sodas, because no one really checks the price of sodas that much anymore. They'll just buy a soda. Hey, I need a Diet Coke or I need a Sprite. Well, no one really looks at the price. So a lot of times I'll, $3 for a fountain drink. And then and it only costs like 10 cents for the fountain drink, really. But so all that extra money is going to cover the cost of some of my menu items that are not making as much profit. So where it balances out at the end. So just making sure you're balanced, your pricing is balanced, and also you don't want something that's $100 and then on the menu, like in your section of entrees, you don't want one that's $100 and one that's like, I don't know, $2. I mean, let's keep it in the ballpark range of everything, right? You don't want a huge price swing difference. It just looks weird. Uh, Proper sizing of the menu, making sure, and we kind of talked about this yesterday, earlier on about, borders, wide, or take away some of that color and put a little border or box around this. That's something very important. Also, what kind of menu is it going to be? A front and back? Is it going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 page, type of a fold out sheet? The best is just a one sheet, front and back. That's the best kind of a menu. But you don't want something that's I mean, this looks like a book right here. I mean, it's got, and so it's probably front and back. So you got one on the front, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably at least 6 pages of menu items. Because one on the back of that front one, right? So you got one on there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 pages. That's a lot of menu items. So I would cut that down a little bit. And then choosing your ingredients, making sure your ingredients is good. And also when I'm making my own menu or creating a menu, I would suggest y'all going and sitting and working at the dish pit for one day, if you're the executive chef or sous chef or whatever else. I usually, on the days that I am doing specials or testing out a few different things, I work at I sit all the in the dining room. And the reason why I want to see that is what is coming back to the kitchen. Like if there's too much, like did I give them too much vegetables, or did I give them too much, or not enough, or are they eating it all? Whatever else, all those things I'm looking for to decide if I created the proper dish for my customers. So just making sure what comes back, and if people, if I see a bunch of these are mussels sitting right on here. If I see a bunch of mussels coming back every single order, then I need to figure out what the problem is. Maybe I'm giving them too many mussels, or not, or if then everybody's eating it or whatever else. So I need to just decide on how well it's being received by the customers, choosing the right ingredients and the right product as well. Man, I am ready for some seafood. This looks amazing. Those crab legs right there. Look at that. Calamari, some
Oh
fish.
man,
Wow, man, making me hungry.
that seafood
Like,
bowl is looking good.
yeah, and then you got this. Yeah, I mean, all of that looks great. So just choosing, sorry, I'm getting hungry already. Food turns me on totally. I mean, when I look at food, it should turn you on. It should excite you. It should kind of do something, especially if you love to cook and have that passion. I mean, I just love looking at sexy food. I mean, porn, you know, food porn. Food porn. I mean, that's the best thing around, man. I look at Instagram just for food porn. It's amazing. So let's see. Just make sure you're choosing the right ingredients. I mean, look at that
Oh my
sauce right here.
gosh. Is that
I
lamb?
That looks like lamb, but it looks
Is
like
that lamb shanks and couscous?
it's a looks like a rack of lamb, maybe with a
Couscous?
yeah, our Israeli couscous.
Some dill, carrots.
And the only thing is I think this looks like a, cinnamon stick, and that's a lot of cinnamon uh, for that dish, but it still looks great. But making sure you're choosing the right ingredients, making sure the
I
food looks
just so
sexy. Yeah. All right. Restaurant menu planning sheet. All right. All right. So let's say we'll be back at what you want 7:20. Then we'll work on the next PowerPoint.
I guess
Everybody
it's
good on that? All right. So
yes.
7:20. Then I'll see you at 7:20. Peace out. All right, back again. All right. And determining labor needs. All right. Some of this stuff, I'm going to just talk about like on scheduling, but you're really not going to need to uh, know too much about scheduling, but for this class, but I will be talking about it. Creating a schedule in a restaurant is like fitting together pieces of a puzzle, and that is very true. You've got people that have desires to get time off, days off, all of that, making sure that you know, everybody has the hours that they have are hours that they need, hours, the 40 hours or the 20 hours or whatever the hours they need, making sure that they have that, making sure that everybody's scheduled properly. You have enough money for scheduling, everybody on the shift, all of that sort of stuff. So just making sure you have scheduled the needs for the schedule. Um, let's see, for labor systems, key measurement is dollar. Everything done by dollars of labor hours. Um, and that's just a labor system. But let's see, dollars per labor hours is sales divided by hours. So to figure out the dollars per labor hours, you have to divide basically uh, the money uh, the money into the hours and make sure that it all correlates and all works and that there's enough money for everybody. And per hour, how long, what should they be doing in those hours and all of that sort of stuff. Effective difference, effective or evidence, different for every basically every restaurant's a little different, so track your dollars and labor hours and realize that 3 weeks is what makes a trend. So basically you need at least 3 weeks to kind of see what the trend is, because you're in 1 week you can't really tell what the trend is, and then at least 3 weeks you can kind of figure out the trend a little bit more. Sorry, my dog is attacking me, attacking my leg right now, so I don't know what's going on. So if you see me kind of moving around, that's what it is. My dog's attacking my foot. You know what, guys? I usually push the labor for a few more days. I will go into labor. I hold on a second. Let me see that. That was day 15. I usually wait for that. So how about this? Joe, want an easy Friday? Would you like
As
to get out?
opposed to
Yes.
I mean, get out if not, I mean, I've got another PowerPoint that I can show, but I usually wait for that one. Are y'all cool with getting out early on Friday?
I
It
mean,
looks like
I'm always
Austin
opposed to
is.
getting out early. Is this
Yeah, sure.
is this slide gonna be in that link you sent?
Do what? What did you ask? You're on mute.
Oh. No, I said that if we could get off early.
Oh yeah, we'll get off early. Hold on a second. Let me see what Kevin wants to say.
Is that that last PowerPoint gonna be in the link you sent me?
Yeah, it is, but I usually wait until later on because I usually go into standardized recipes day 21, standardized recipes day 22, minimum pricing and costing recipes. I usually do that first. I have forgotten what the labor. I usually push the labor until later. So on Monday, we're going to do day 21. That is called um, standardized recipes. Okay. So so if you want to look at the PowerPoint for Monday, I think it's called, it's day 21 and it's on that little list of all of that, but day 21 and I think it's,
What would that be saved? Like, so we can go back to it?
what's that?
Nah, I'm talking about the PowerPoint right now.
Oh yeah, the PowerPoints are all saved. Do you have access to the PowerPoints?
Yeah, well, some of them I have not.
Okay, I sent a link to you or to everybody. Let me make sure that, do you want to send me your email and I will make sure I get it on there. I know Kevin just got on to all the PowerPoints a couple of days ago. So send me an email or text message with your either your school email or your whatever email you want me to send it to, and you can have access to it all.
So just a question, my password got changed and I didn't do it for my school email. Who do I contact to fix that?
Okay, hold on one second. I'm gonna have to find the, who said that? I didn't see who was saying that.
Faith.
Who was that? I'm sorry, Faith, is that you?
Yeah.
Okay. I will send you, I'm gonna have to send you or do you have my phone number?
No.
Okay, can I give it to you right now?
Yeah.
It's area code 512-771-4979. Area code 512-77. If you or text message me so I can be able to send you a phone number, and I'll send you a phone number, and it's a helpline, and you have to call them up and they'll fix your password and all of that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. And I will email you the link in a few minutes on that. And yes, all the PowerPoints are saved. They're on that on this little link I'm going to send you, and you can look them over. We're going to go over day 15, but we're going to do it later in the block because day 15 is talking about labor, and this is something we don't really mess with too much in this class. So I push that down to the later days that it's not this day is not as important as other days that I have on the PowerPoint, but we'll get there. All right, then so tomorrow I hope y'all have a great weekend. All of that good stuff. Be safe. It might rain a lot with the tropical depression out in the Gulf of Mexico. But other than that, y'all have a great weekend. I will post the video and all that good stuff for y'all. And I hope y'all just have a wonderful weekend. Bye, guys.
Aces, see you on Monday.
See ya, man. Y'all have a great day. Be safe.
What are you doing? Stop.